Balancelot is Quap on a unicycle is the best way to describe it. It's one of those games that is purposefully got really janky controls and weird controls and silly physics, and then ridiculously hard levels to make you scream and rage until you understand it. Similar games, to kind of put it in its ilk, reminds me very much of Getting Over It with Ben Foddy. Ragdoll Runners is another one. Octodad would be one as well. And probably I Am Bread, although they're more 3D planed, and this is on a 2D environment. The whole point of Balancelot is that you're balancing your weight to move your unicycle forward, and you'll do that by pushing 2 triggers on the controller. If you're on PC, you'll be using 2 keys, obviously, on the keyboard, to try and push your weight backwards and forth to get momentum to either cross gaps or get momentum to then jump across gaps. But the minute that anything or any part of your human body hits anything, it's game over and you're dead, and you go back to either the beginning of the level or the last checkpoint that you hit. It is very difficult because things kind of tip scales really quickly, and so you'll overcompensate as you kind of panic and distressfully kind of go back and forth, and then rage at the fact that you jump and hit your head on a claustrophobic ceiling. Game over. You'll get attacked by a rabbit. Game over. Or a lion. You'll be trying to cross platforms that are moving around, and you miss. Game over. And what it starts to do is then bring up more and more different kind of puzzle elements using your joust stick. So initially you can kind of use it, and it's very helpful to balance yourself and kind of use as like a tripod is how I was using it, so that I could kind of like angle myself to get upstairs really jankily. But then it starts to get used very quickly to like flip blocks, because it's kind of like a medieval vibe that's going on. I love the art style, but it also lends itself to like kids like play brick toys, because you'll have to use the joust stick to kind of push forward and then push blocks out of the way or flip them over to create bridges. And because some of that is a bit like wonky as well, sometimes you'll think you've done everything that you can, and you've got yourself into like an unwinnable situation because some of the bricks kind of fall away before you can get across like the bridge, that kind of thing. And that's a bit frustrating on top of what is already a very frustrating game to play. And that's why I say, if you don't enjoy these quirky control, weird janky physics and masochistic kind of tendencies, Balancelot will not be for you at all. That being said, what I do appreciate at Balancelot is that it's not janky to the point of stupidity. There is a method to the madness, and when you click with it, what I found really fascinating was that I then started going back to earlier levels and feeling like I could get past them better with only a couple of deaths, whereas beforehand I'd be like 15 minutes of rage going, "Why me?" All the way through. There's plenty of content as well, loads and loads of levels. I doubt that many of you will see many of them because it is by design trying to throw things at you. But if you enjoy those types of games, Balancelot is a great one to add to your library. The rest of you, though, stay well clear. That being said, I did run into one or two kind of technical issues, and that is around glitchiness of movement. Some of the enemies respawn in awkward places in front of you. There's also some random generation in the way how some of the platforms move around when you restart levels, and sometimes they don't actually ever line up at all. So I found myself getting into unwinnable situations through no fault of my own. And if that could be resolved, then Balancelot, I think, would be a little bit more of a recommend. But yeah, written review over on higherplayinggames.com shortly. Until then, you guys take care. Bye. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.